Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, we had a little bit of excitement not too long ago. There was a pretty massive whale dump, but of course it failed because right now, whale dumps, manipulation, FUD, none of these things have effect on Bitcoin because we know Bitcoin is going to go higher. So, let's discuss what's going on with Bitcoin, what happened to this whale dump, but more importantly, what's going on with altcoins. Something that I've been talking about recently is Bitcoin dominance and whether or not we're seeing resurgence of Bitcoin dominance, remnants of 2017 when Bitcoin dominance went up, altcoin dominance went down, right? Are we seeing the same thing happen? Let's discuss. So, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, 2 streams almost every day. This morning I had a set video. I couldn't make it to DCA, so that's because I'm on vacation and it's just very difficult to plan these streams. But I try to do it 2 every day. Regardless, hit that notification bell to be notified. And follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, articles, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I'm still on vacation, so I am reading comments from my phone, but we will get through, and let's get started. So, first of all, look at this massive wick. You see, the whales, they're smart. They try to fool you both ways. So over here, Bitcoin was just hovering, setting around 55.5, like right around now. All of a sudden, it pumped up to 56.5, right? And then, boom, back down to where? 51,000. You think that's by coincidence? No, that's a massive whale dump and whale manipulation. Why did they do it? I mean, you could theorize many reasons why. First of all, to liquidate some longs. Yeah, that probably happened, right? Also to basically buy the dip. They may have set some buys right here at 51,000. I mean, that's a 10%, more than a 10% drop from this peak of 56,000. But guess what? Bitcoin recovered right afterwards, and now we're at the same point as Bitcoin was before this thing that happened, right? So, I mean, whales, they will always do their thing. They're always going to try to manipulate the market, try to cause fear, especially with retail investors. But at this point in time, it's just not really working. Bitcoin bulls are just buying up everything. It's just like, it's almost no point, right? It's almost laughable at this point what the whales, or the bears, I should say, are trying to do because it's just not working. No one believes that Bitcoin is going to fall back down to 10,000 again or 20,000 like some people have fudded over the last few months. No. At this point, we know Bitcoin is going higher. Global adoption is happening right in front of our eyes through countries and banks like the IMF, World Bank, central banks, local banks. They're all starting to sweat because Bitcoin is starting to eat their lunch, and they're starting to lose control. And Bitcoin brings financial freedom and allows you and everyone else to break the chains of the banks. So, I mean, we got a lot of good stuff. We got a lot of good stuff happening with Bitcoin. I got some good stuff to show you guys, but yeah, so hopefully none of you guys fell for this. I mean, it was really, really quick, but hopefully you didn't have a long liquidated or something like that because that would be just horrible. But I did want to talk about something else that I've been sharing with you guys, and that's Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is now back up to 44.65%, closing in at 45%, okay? Got a couple super chats, appreciate it, or super stickers, I should say. Here's the thing. From Bitcoin being at 50,000 or below 50,000 now to 55,000, approximately 10% higher. In fact, you can look at 15 or 16% higher within the last week. Altcoins have not been moving, with the exception of SHIB. But you could see Ethereum for last week up 3%. Cardano is down. Binance Coin is down. XRP is up a little bit, but Solana is down. Polkadot is up a little bit. Luna is down. Shiba is just crazy. But Uniswap is down. Avalanche is down. Chainlink is down. Algorand is down. Matic is down. Cosmos is down. ICP is down. Axis Infinity is down, right? So a lot of altcoins started to lose their momentum, at least compared to Bitcoin, right? So that's why Bitcoin dominance is starting to come up. So is this a trend? Last week was the very first week, or I should say this week because it's not over yet, technically, or maybe it is because it's Sunday. This is the very first week in 2021 that I remember that Bitcoin started to move up in a big way and altcoins did not. Okay, that's why BTC dominance is coming up. So is it remnants of 2017, right? And someone made this fractal pattern that's comparing the two. Now, because of the number of altcoins out there, Bitcoin dominance is lower than versus 2017. However, in 2017, you could see at the very beginning of this chart, I don't know if it's cut off for you guys, hopefully it's not, but at the very beginning, Bitcoin dominance did drop to like 30-something%. And then it rallied hard until it hit about 70-something%. Okay, and that was about mid-December. And then when that bubble burst for Bitcoin, then you can see Bitcoin dominance dropped tremendously back down to 30-something%. And that's when the altcoins went up on a tremendous run, 3 to 5 to 10x. But beforehand, when Bitcoin was rising up, altcoins lost dominance. That's why BTC dominance kept going up. So if you apply that same fractal pattern right now to the right side, you can see that if it follows, that means that Bitcoin dominance is set to go from its 40-something%, could be as high as, say, 60-something%, okay, as Bitcoin climbs higher. And I'm talking about Bitcoin going up to maybe 100, 125, 150,000. And then if we hit that peak, that money comes out and then it starts pumping Bitcoin and the Bitcoin dominance will drop, right? So that's if you're applying what happened in 2017 to now in terms of BTC dominance, right? It does not mean it's going to follow the same way. But however, history tends to rhyme, so we can be seeing the start of that. And the reason for that could be because even last week or this week I covered a story about institutional adopters. They are switching, they're buying from altcoins to Bitcoin. So that could explain it, that the institutions were stocking up altcoins, which is why the altcoins were going up so much, okay, for the last few months. And now it could be that they're stocking up Bitcoin because they know this last 3 months of this year and last 3 months of the 4-year cycle. So it could be. Again, it's a little bit too early to call, but we'll see. We have to study it. We'll have to pay attention to it, and I definitely will, and let you guys know if there is that momentum shift. But the only thing that changes, even if there is, the only thing that changes is your portfolio allocation. And I've been stressing the 50-25-25 rule for quite some time. I know a lot of you guys, maybe most of you guys, do not have 50% in Bitcoin, and that's where this plays a factor. Okay, because I know a lot of you guys are like 100% in altcoins, or maybe 90% in altcoins, 70% in altcoins, and you have very little in Bitcoin. This is where you're going to start feeling the hurt, because even if altcoins do not go down, if they lose against Bitcoin, if Bitcoin continues to pump and the altcoin stays steady, that means your portfolio, okay, even though USD value does not go down, but your BTC value goes down. And if you're losing against BTC, that's a horrible thing in my book. I'd rather see BTC gain in terms of the value, right? And I'd rather see that than say a gain of USD, because I know Bitcoin is going to be worth a lot more. So there will be days where, let's say, Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down. But if Bitcoin goes down less, okay, than altcoins, well, then you're going to lose against BTC. And same thing when Bitcoin goes up and the altcoins do not go as up as Bitcoin, as high as Bitcoin, then you can also lose BTC value, right? So that is important. But if you follow the 50-25-25 rule, that shouldn't really happen because you're protected. 50% of your portfolio is in Bitcoin. So it provides that stability and growth. And you're limited because 25% is in big caps. And big caps, generally speaking, at least keep up with Bitcoin. Sometimes they don't. Like this week, they haven't. But for the most part, they keep up with Bitcoin. So you're not really losing against Bitcoin. However, there's times where they move much faster. And there's been times they actually held better than Bitcoin when there's a correction. But at 25% of small caps, mid caps, right? That's where during accelerated Bitcoin pumps, I guess, or rises, those tend to hurt the most because liquidity gets drawn out and put into Bitcoin. But anyways, 50-25-25, I think it's still the best portfolio strategy. If you follow the allocation, I think you'll be protected no matter what. But I know most of you guys, if not, no, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of you guys, I know you don't hold 50% Bitcoin because you want to make the big money, the fast money instantly, right? But you know what? There's going to be times where you really regret that decision, and it could be from now on till the end of the year as Bitcoin keeps going up. So be careful. But again, I'm going to study it and let you guys know going forward. All right, what else is there? Well, in terms of Bitcoin, $31 billion worth of value settled on Bitcoin network in a single day last week. This is an all-time high for a single day settlement. And I covered this yesterday. There's more dollars being settled per second now on the Bitcoin network than compared to even Visa or MasterCard. That shows you how strong Bitcoin's network is. I mean, and this, right? This explains it. So Bitcoin's network is only getting bigger and stronger. TechDev, who is a master at comparing fractals of fractal patterns of 2013 and 2021, is looking at the same thing where we did have the second leg, right? Just like in 2013, not exactly the same, but 2013 we did have a mid peak. Things came down a little bit, and then we had a second peak. That is what it's looking like in 2021. But he's applying this RSI, different levels of RSI, but he still states that we will see that top just like 2021. And it's not, yeah, and there's another one here. Here's one comparing Bitcoin last year and this year to gold in 1970. The reason why, if you want to know, the reason why someone like Peter Schiff, who's actually very, very smart, intelligent, but the reason why he loves gold is because of this. He lived through this. Robert Kiyosaki, who loves gold and silver, lived through this. They saw gold, okay, go from a nothing burger to something huge within a very, very short amount of time. Unfortunately, after it got huge, it just stayed there, right? But if you equate Bitcoin's growth right now versus gold in the 1970s, it looks awfully similar, almost identical, okay? And if it continues to follow this pattern, well, that's going to put Bitcoin past 200,000. In fact, it's going to put it somewhere between 265 and 300,000 if it follows the same trend. Again, history doesn't always repeat, but it does tend to rhyme, right? And here's a good thing too. According to this, you'll never guess how many Americans invest in cryptocurrencies. Well, according to the survey, only 11% of Americans have invested in cryptocurrency. And I bet out of the 11%, probably 90% of that is in sheep or Doge. So there's actually still very, very little Americans, and I bet citizens worldwide that have invested in cryptocurrency. So what does that mean? It means it's still early. It means that Bitcoin at 55,000 is still early. It means that Ethereum at 3,600 is still early. It means that Cardano at 230 is still early, right? This is only the beginning. Retail FOMO has not started yet. Wait until Bitcoin breaks 100,000, then you'll see what true FOMO is. Those of us that lived in 2017, lived through 2017, I should say, we saw it. And I believe we're going to see the same thing happen. So, definitely exciting times. Exciting times coming. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. You know what? Let's do some Q&A. By the way, I do have a story. You guys know I'm in San Antonio. I was here for a trip. Decided to do a family vacation. I was at SeaWorld today. And I got recognized by 2 loyal watchers. Steven with his cute little son. I met him. And then I met another couple. I didn't get their names, but they took a picture with me. So, actually 3 people, I should say. So, it's very, very exciting. Very fun to be recognized out of nowhere, right? And it's still reasonable. Now, if I ever get to the point where like every other step someone's recognizing me, I don't think I'll get to that point. But if it does get to that point somehow, then I'm going to have to start hiding myself better. But for now, it's cool. It's very cool. All right, Tiger King is here to shield Tiger King coin, but he is giving me a super chat, so I appreciate it. What else is there? Scrolling down, man, there's a lot of super chats. I don't have slow chat. I don't think I have this on. Alan, welcome, new member to the channel. A lot of sheep guys. You know, sheep tends to pump whenever I stream. No correlation. It just happens. Cinna 7 says I'm 50% in XVS. Will it come back or should I come on losses? I do think that you need to diversify. Like I said, I think a lot of people do not have 50% in Bitcoin. If you don't, you should try to get there. It will really help you. I mean, the reason why I came up 50, 25 to 25 because it has worked with me in the past, right? It has worked for me. That's why I'm sharing it. It's not just like I'm pulling some numbers out of the air. So I know a lot of you guys that got in this year, you haven't really experienced it. Altcoins have been doing well. You've been gaining on Bitcoin value. That's great, right? But if we do have that period where Bitcoin dominance continues to go up, like 44.64%, and it keeps going up, and Bitcoin keeps rising, and we get to like 60, 70,000, and the altcoins still do not move, then you go start feeling the hurt. So be careful. Nathan asked the same question. I'm 100% alt. Should I convert my underperforming alts to BDC? You have to make that decision. But obviously, if you don't have any BDC, if Bitcoin goes up, you're going to be hurting. So it's advisable that you start ramping up your BDC allocation within your portfolio. Lego Titanic is way too big. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Maybe when I retire from this channel, I'll be able to actually have some time to build. It's like 9,000 something pieces. That's crazy. What's your thoughts on Arweave? It's a market cap. Seems so low for its usage growth. No, it has been going up. Arweave is my favorite storage play because they're a storage backbone for Solana. I think that's a big edge versus all decentralized storage out there. And I don't think they're really undervalued. They're multi-billion dollars now. So, I mean, yeah. What kind of event or time would it take for the U.S. to officially stockpile some BDC? You know, I don't know. Maybe it has started happening already, right? U.S. holds their reserves of gold is one of the biggest in the whole world. We haven't seen countries really declare that they're starting to stockpile Bitcoin, but it's just a matter of time. And then once countries start doing that, man, it's, you know, countries have like unlimited amount of money, right? So countries like El Salvador, yes, is small, but wait until Brazil starts stockpiling Bitcoin because they want to make it legal tender or as a reserve. And wait until, you know, the Middle East starts doing that. Wait until the countries that are super wealthy, Russia, or China or the US. Just wait when the day comes when they start stockpiling. Bitcoin could be at 10 million plus by then. I mean, seriously. They have unlimited amount of money, and there's a very limited supply of Bitcoin, and there's a set supply for Bitcoin. So it's not like gold where they could just get unlimited amount every single year or day or whatever. It just doesn't make sense. But with Bitcoin, man. Thoughts on Hedera and Cody? I like both. Cody has been stagnant, and that's because I think Cardano has been stagnant. Their biggest thing is their payment processor, their payment play for Cardano, and also they're coming out with the stablecoin for Cardano. But I mean, if Cardano's showing weakness, they're not going to be moving. But when Cardano picks up, they'll come back. I don't really have thoughts on Hedera. It's just not my cup of tea. Justin, I appreciate that. My little one, Puff, he passed away, unfortunately, earlier this week, and I wasn't even home. It's very sad. But, we had some good years with him. He lived until he was 16, and he was doing just fine this year. He had some heart problems. We had to give him some medicine, but he was good. We took him a lot of walks. He was still eating, plenty of sleeping, especially behind my desk when I was streaming, right? Yeah, it's unfortunate with pets. It's like they become a family member, and when you lose them, it's really hard. But the good thing is we know that he had a good life, so we don't have any regrets on that. Another George Laura Osenga, welcome, new member. What do you think about Jasmine? I have no idea what that is. What is Jasmine? I don't even know why I'm looking at this. From Japan. Towards a new era, consumer-oriented information, IoT platforms. Just a whole bunch of date stamps. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of sheep fans here. That's okay. Trying to be objective with sheep. I told you guys that. Create a few videos. And I'm glad they're with me. What's going to happen to Solana, Matic, Link, and Algo? Nothing's going to happen to them. But if BTC dominance starts going up in a big way, just like 2017, then all of them will probably be stagnant. I mean, they could still start moving up, but BTC is definitely going to move up faster. And we haven't really seen that yet in 2021, like 2017. But if it happens, be prepared. Sold all my ETF index fund stocks and went all in on BTC ETH. Have 0.51 BTC and 20 quant. What are your thoughts? Well, I don't have the usual Asian calculator in my head, but if you don't have 50% in Bitcoin, you should probably try to achieve that. I think that's definitely advantageous going forward. Dave B, thank you. Terra Cosmos long-term hold, both are fantastic long-term holds. Gohan, hey George, nice to see you. All good. Any top predictions for one bet engine? Take care. I'm pretty sure I've said it many times. Okay, 5 to 10x. Let's just put it that way. I'm not gonna give you a specific number, but I say 5 to 10x. Tiger King, keep shilling Tiger King coin. What do you think about Eternity Chain? I think it's okay. Yeah, I mean, they've been onboarding some big celebrities, for under NFTs, but they've been underwhelming. You know, I kind of thought they would do more, so still underwhelming in my book. I like Gala. I think Gala has good potential. Created by co-founder of Zanga, so he definitely knows how to make viral games. And their games are into NFTs. So the last game, I forgot what game it was. It was some kind of like space game. It was doing pretty well. There's a lot of talk about stablecoins being regulated and what would happen if stablecoins were outright banned. Nothing would happen. We would just convert to CBDCs. Someone like I saw a comment from someone that said, "Hey George, I don't think you understand. CBDCs is tyranny, and it should be the end of personal freedom." I'm like, that we already have that. I mean, fiat is basically controlling the fiat and banking system is controlling our freedom, our financial freedom, right? CBDCs doesn't change that. It doesn't change it at all, right? But I think stablecoins are threatened by CBDCs because even Chairman Powell said, hey, if we had a digital dollar, there's no point to CBDCs. In a way, he's right. All the exchanges would just have a digital USD that you can, have trading pairs with and cash out on. So I think stablecoins, they're most threatened by CBDCs. Storage is so underrated. I don't know if they're underrated. I think they're right where they should be. The boys, thank you. 50-25. What would you buy with the last 25%? Mid to small caps. It's up to you. It's your choice. If you keep it within that 25%, you're good. I like VeChain more than anything. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Moto JB. We had the same. We had this kind of like debate last DCA where he said Avalanche theoretically, mathematically could never pass 50 cents or $50. Yet it did. It did go up beyond $50, right? So that kind of shows you logic and math kind of goes out the window with crypto, right? When you have FOMO, when you have announcements, it kind of trumps everything. So I don't know how James come up with that 33 cents for VeChain. That's wrong. It's wrong. What do you think about the ADEX future Uniswap of Cardano? I think I'll have more opinion when it's done. There's no DEX that's working on Cardano's the main chain yet. When one of them is done, then ask me my thoughts. But right now, none of them are done. And I think that's the reason why Cardano has not moved, because of that. Yeah. Can you speak on XLMM partnership with MoneyGram? It's not really a partnership. MoneyGram is just going to utilize stable coins, I think, for transactions, and it's running on top of XLMM. That's pretty much it. That's not really a partnership. They're just utilizing them. That's all. Another member to the channel. Welcome. Welcome. All right, guys. I think that's pretty much it. Overall, you know what? Some whale dumping, whale manipulation. None of you guys fell for it, I know. And Bitcoin didn't fall for it. Bitcoin, it's like, whatever. I'm going to continue to hold because I am the future. I am the future. I'm the chain breaker. I'm financial freedom. And everyone else is starting to realize that. So, but the big trend is altcoins are starting getting weaker, right? So we'll have to study it this week. Let's see what happens this week. I do anticipate this week will be good, very good for Bitcoin. And I don't know if it's going to be very good for altcoins. We'll see. But I do think this week could be a tremendous week for Bitcoin. All right, guys. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know if I can do 11:30. I think I'm going to do earlier because I'm going to be traveling tomorrow, so I'm probably going to do earlier. So make sure you hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right? Take care, guys.